Well, some might say good things come to those who wait. What am I talking about? UCLA finally gets a 2024 recruit for the football class. Let's talk about it. Locked on UCLA.
You are Locked On UCLA, your daily podcast on the UCLA Bruins. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, everybody, it's Zach Anderson-Yoxsimer. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of Locked On UCLA. It's free wherever you get your podcast, and it's available on YouTube. The big news, the Bruins do and Chip Kelly, get their first class of 2024 commit, and what we've been all hoping for, it's on the defensive side of the football. It's Khristian Dunbar-Hawkins, who has been all around the map when it comes to high school ball, but he is a four-star DB as the Bruins finally nailed someone down for a hard commit for the class of 24 for the first time so far in this class. And a four-star DB went back and forth, had a bunch of different offers across the country. And, you're asking about it, you're asking for it, and UCLA gets it. In an interview, it looked like he said to Greg Biggins, he knows Jalen Davies, Devin Kirkwood, and Will Nimmo, all these guys he knows. He works with their DB coaches together so to maybe have a cohesive unit and continuity moving forward for the Bruins is what's going to help them going forward. And what's interesting, Bill McGovern only has one more year left on the deal, and to try and solidify someone down for a 2024 commit, does that mean that Bill McGovern is going to stay an extra year? Does that mean Chip Kelly believes in Bill McGovern and then that's his man, or do they have a succession plan in place? Either way, UCLA finally nails down, gets somebody defensively, but to the T's, well, you have to wait a year. He's the class of 24. He's played high school ball from various places, from St. Bernard's, from Mater Dei, even listed as St. John Bosco, and then even Bishop Alameda. He's been all across the map. So one hopes that for Dunbar-Hawkins, mentioned how when he committed, it's his mother's birthday, and just how his visit with UCLA, loved the blue and gold. With it being a year away, you never know these hard commits. They're soft commits, hard soft commits, whatever it is. The Bruins, you just got to make sure, hey, your top recruit of 23 left, and then you saw how good the class became. So you only hope the Bruins can keep their first commit, keep these guys, especially with it being on the defensive side of the football. And maybe this means they're leaning towards Bill McGovern getting an extra, multi-year extension. Maybe they have the succession plan in place. Who's the next defensive coordinator? Either way, the Bruins get someone defensively, four-star, and as Greg Biggins writes, is someone who can cover all around the field, a good rangy corner, which is always good things. You want a corner who can be all around. 5'11", 175, four-star, about a top 25 recruit when it comes to the state of California, and chose them over the Deion Sanders fun time in Colorado, Florida State, Georgia, Georgia Tech, Arizona. So for now, those are some big schools, including national champs, Florida State, Prime Time, who's trying to steal every recruit he can. So just to make sure, those are guys those are teams that are recruiting him. That's uh, all over the country with some eye popping appeal. But for UCLA, that is their first official recruit who probably says, "Yeah, I want to go take my talents and play against some of the best in the Big Ten," because that'll be their first official Big Ten recruit. So UCLA gets on the board, gets somebody in the class of 24, four-star DB. And, someone around the corner, Roderick Pleasant, has UCLA in terms of his final five. That's a four-star DB in the class of 23 who is trying to make his commitment by the time of the next signing day, the signing day, which is now not late signing day, but just regular signing day. But Roderick Pleasant, that's another guy UCLA has their eyes on and is trying to grab from his final five, mostly West Coast local schools. That's I believe a four-star, five-star, whatever it is. Pleasant, big-time recruit for UCLA to try and get in terms of DBs. But the big news is Khristian Dunbar-Hawkins. Bruin, let's go. Get excited. Already next year under the belt. Hey, Chip Kelly and all his coaches on social media saying, yeah, they're going all over the state recruiting, making their faces seen, making their voices heard, telling kids what they want for the UCLA program in high schools. Yes, high schools. So we'll see how many recruits they get from the local high schools in SoCal and so on and so forth moving forward. Either way, the Bruins get some defense. We'll see if this adds to more, if they have a cohesive group, what this means for the defensive coordinator, all that and more we'll discuss in depth. For the Bruins, they get a 24 recruit. Hopefully, we can try and get Pleasant and get him on board for this year, class of 23, as a later signee to add to this already pretty stacked class for the Bruins and see what this means. Either way, I hope you are cheering on, if you're listening to this on the same day, watching on the same day, cheer on the Bruins to take down the Sun Devils and then maybe beat Arizona. Joe Lunardi said, hey, if the Bruins can beat the Sun Devils and the Wildcats on the road, they are a 1 seed, number one in our hearts, and ready to go. So get your hands up, Bruins fans. Just a quick little hitter right now for Locked On UCLA. And 8 clap time, baby. And just kidding. We're going to do a quick read because I'm going to tell you about BetOnline. Is your number one source for all your sports betting information, news, and analysis, latest odds and trends from pro football, playoffs, everything. They've got sports podcasts with BetOnline when it comes to betting fixes, your fastest and easiest way to get all your betting info. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more. BetOnline, where the game starts, where it starts. But where this podcast ends is as per usual. Now get your hands up, UCLA fans, listening at home, watching on YouTube. 8 clap time, baby. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. UCLA. UCLA, fight, fight, fight. Let's go. Excitement is here. Let's go, Bruins. This has been Locked On UCLA. I'll recap ASU UCLA coming up as we got it all, baby. We got it all. Go, Bruins. This has been Locked On UCLA.